last video I talked about real estate and what I feel is the direction that the real estate's going, which in my opinion it's going down. It has to go down. That's inevitable, and the property values is hiked up to a record again. You know, every time that happens, every time you hear that term, whether stock market or real estate, be aware. Be aware. Don't get scared. Don't panic. I'm not saying don't leave your house. You know, but all I'm saying is just think. You know, something's going on. You know, when it gets to that peak that quickly. I remember a time where there was healthy economy. Real estate would increase. Real estate prices would increase. They used to say about maybe 5 to 7%, 5 to 8%, 5 to 10%, let's say, per year. Not 50% per year. It just doesn't make sense. It's just, you know, there has to be some measurable, something that you can measure and compare this to. I mean, why would the real estate price go up? I mean, there's got to be a reason for the economy to. I mean, is the economy growing that fast? Is the economy growing 50%? Has your wage increased by 50%? Has the average person's wage increased 50%? Now, some of you may say, yes, I'm making 50% more money than I was a year ago, or 3 years ago, or 5 years ago. Good for you. Awesome. I'm happy for you. But the economy doesn't work, and it's not based on one or two people, right? It's based on millions and millions of people. Are millions and millions of people across the country have their wages gone up 50%, 30%? No. I'm an employer, and I feel like I'm a very generous employer. I have not increased my employees' wage 30% or 40%. Not that I don't want to. I cannot. It's the economy is not where I can increase my employees' wages 40% or 50%. So what happens then is people's wage stays down here and price of real estate keeps going up. Guess what happens? There are two groups of people. One group that have purchased their homes and they were wise, they had good credit score, they didn't pull any equity out, they've paid it down, they've paid their principal down, and they basically their interest rate is low, you know, 3-4%. Awesome, good for them. You know, I'm proud of them, and there are many people that are in that position. However, this is the big however. There are many more, millions probably, that they're not on that boat. They're on the other boat. They're on the they're on adjustable interest rate boat. They pulled out a lot of equity and money out of their principal, so they didn't pay down their principal, so they pulled out a lot of their equity in their home, so they owe almost, if not as much, maybe sometimes even more than what the home is worth. Let's assume even if they paid it down, like let's say a home was worth $500,000, which you can't find anything in Southern California, but let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just say $500,000. They've paid down, let's say, you know, $150,000, $200,000. They owe about $350,000, let's say. If the economy turns around, which it always does, right? People lose their jobs. Does that happen? All the time, right? So, average person in America, based on statistics, they have probably less than $3,000 to $5,000 in their bank account. Average mortgage payment, at least in Southern California, it hovers right around $3,000, $4,000. How long do you think a person could last if they lose their job? that's food for thought. This is somebody that has been responsible, been paying down. I'm not even talking about deadbeats that didn't pay anything. They pulled a lot of money. No. These are people that really did their due diligence. They paid down they've been paying their mortgages on time, and for the first, if it's a 30-year-old mortgage, for the first maybe 10-15 years, you're just paying down principal. So that's all you're paying. You're just paying. I'm sorry that you're not paying down any of the principal. You're just paying the interest on your principal. So that's a topic again for another conversation. But so how long do you think these people will last? They can't. They cannot. Somebody. There's death in the family. There's sickness. People lose their jobs. They have to move. Divorce. A lot of factors involved, right? So, and that's all it takes. Just one spark, and then boom. It's people get wiped out. So what's going to happen is one person loses job. Let's say the interest rate goes up to, I remember at one time, I've said this before, 8% on first and 12% on my second. This was like about 15 years ago. Let's say it's not going to go up that high. Let's say it'll go up to 5%, 6%. It will happen. It will happen. It's going to have to happen. It's not going to hover around 4% for that much longer. That's all it takes. On a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 home, it goes up 1%, 1 to 2%. That's all it takes. People got to get wiped out. People already are paying about 50 to 60% of their income on mortgages right now. 50 to 60%. And I had this conversation before where, income level has not gone up that much. So that's all it takes. That's all it takes. So, is real estate a good investment? Again, I want to recap what I said in the last video. Yes, absolutely. If it's done right, if you can actually afford to. What's the ideal real estate purchase as an investment? I say when the prices are reasonable. To me, what's reasonable is probably like at least 20% less than what they're asking for right now, and it will go down that much, if not more. Some people are panicking; they're saying even more, but let's say even 15-20%. And the interest rate, even if it hovers around, let's say 5 or 6%, that's still okay. That's still okay. That's a good time to buy. Even at 5-6% interest, the prices have been reduced by 20%. You have room to play with. The economy gets better always, at some point. So you can always refinance. And so, but bottom line, real estate as an investment, I say no. I say no because I just don't believe it. I don't believe that that's a good, wise investment. And if you're good with your money and you don't blow it, you can actually still be okay. Real estate does not have to be the only investment. You can save up your money, wait for the economy to turn around, get into the real estate market. Absolutely, by all means. When the market, when the interest rate goes up a little bit higher, the prices get dropped. Somebody has to sell at a lower price than the rest of the block. They have to reduce their prices. Selling prices will go down, and that's a good time to get in. Buy properties, hold on, whatever you have to do. Then that's a good investment. Otherwise, just be good with your money. Just don't, just because you have a certain amount of money, cash, whatever. Just be wise. That's don't let somebody else be your babysitter, or your money's babysitter. You got to be smart. You got to be an adult about this and just say, you know what? I don't want anybody else to manage my money. I don't want this risky big investment companies, banks manage my money and then risk my money. If I want to risk it, I'll want to risk it. Okay, I want to play with my own money. I don't want them to play with my money. So why should I give $100,000, $200,000 down payment to a bank? They go make their investments and all sorts of risky investments and play with my money, and then 5 years later they say, "Oh, oops, we made a mistake. We got to take your home. We got to increase our interest rates. Your home price is decreased now, and your investments wiped out. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let them do that. Okay. I want to be wise, and everyone should be wise and smart about this. Be adult about this. We're not kids. We don't need, again, somebody else managing or babysitting our money. Okay. Be smart. Keep your expenses about the same. Don't increase as you're making. Even those of you that said that I'm making more money, 10%, 15%, 50, 100% more than I was a couple of years ago. Good for you. Keep your expenses the same. Don't go on a shopping spree. Don't go, just be smart. I mean, money will be the king. I'm telling you, cash will be king. Cash is always, in the history, cash has always been king, and it will be again. This is your opportunity. Next year or two, those of you that have cash and assets, the time will come. Your time will come. Just be patient. You have been patient. Don't get lured by these phony investment schemes and do this, do that. Just set it aside, even if it's collecting 1%, 0.5%, whatever, 2%. You'll get your chance to make your 20-30% on your money, but you just got to be patient. That's all it is. Investment is all about patience. That's all it is. It's not. You don't have to go get educated. You don't have to go get a doctorate degree or anything like that. All it takes is patience. As long as you have patience, you're ahead of 80%, 90% of people out there. Your time will come. Our time will come. Thank you.